Being 205 is the worst decision I've ever been. Being able to think that, oh, pizza's a really good balanced diet because it has its carbs, it has its protein, and it has its veggies if you just add vegetables to it. And it's pretty cheap, so why not? Always hooked up with the American processed food. Everything coming back from a cardboard box in a plastic bag. All because of the numbers that I saw were pretty cheap. Eating healthy is pretty expensive. Not until I realized that I needed to make a change. I felt so uncomfortable when taking photos. I was out of breath all the time, wondering why do I look like this? But within 6 months and the right information, I was able to lose 65 pounds of fat in less than 6 months. Because I was able to change the foods that I needed to eat to effectively lose all that body fat. Which was ground beef, eggs, spinach, nuts, berries, and avocado. These were the types of foods that I normally cycle through for me to lose fat effectively. Not only that I don't need to be struggling with hunger, but my energy levels just exploded. I lose fat so effectively, and now my quality of sleep is so much better as well. We're going to be discussing these types of foods that help me lose 65 pounds of fat. In this video, I'm going to teach you how you could do the same. First things first is going to be ground beef. Why I emphasize eating a lot of ground beef is because it's strictly just protein. What I mean by it's just strictly just protein, your body uses all of it. I don't know what it is, but what I've noticed a lot when I started losing a lot of weight, everything that talks about health is saying keeping protein high. Why is that? Because protein actually helps signal the hormone leptin. You may not know what leptin is, which is actually the hormone that actually helps you be stationary. It's that hormone that makes you feel you're full, you don't need to eat anymore. It's not the sensation of insulin when you start eating a pack of donuts and yet you feel bloated. That's not the sensation of fullness. That is when your insulin is rising. And when that happens, that's usually an allergic reaction to your gut microbiome as well as insulin is high. You're just gaining fat from that. So why I emphasize eating a lot of ground beef is because normally all the proteins out of all you see out there in the grocery stores, like chicken, pork, lamb, they don't really have a lot of micronutrients. But the thing is with ground beef, it has everything that you need for your body to function normally. Your hormones, your energy levels, and your sleep quality. You'd rather spend $8 to $10 on a McDonald's meal, cookout meal, rather than spending $5 to $8 on a pound of ground beef where you honestly, ultimately, will lose all that fat, feel fuller longer, and actually have all the micronutrients that you need effectively to survive the next day. If you never know what to actually get from a grocery store, my first suggestion is obviously start abusing ground beef. Start buying it so much. Go to Aldi, it's literally $5.99. It's one of the cheapest grass-fed beefs out there for you, and it will help you lose a lot of fat. Because in my early days, it used to be a lot of ground beef. And I've lost so much weight, and I don't really need to be eating that much. I don't ever catch myself binge eating. I don't catch myself wanting to crave sugar. Whenever I eat processed food, my body just simply rejects it. Imagine having the power to actually reject the foods that is completely controlling you right now, keeping you hooked, making you want to buy more, and ultimately making you still fat. But when you incorporate more ground beef in your diet, life will start flipping. The other one's going to be eggs. There's a lot of misinformation about eggs telling you that they raise high cholesterol, that they're very unhealthy for you, or you only need to be eating certain limits. I'm telling you this right now, abuse eggs as well. I eat ultimately 8 to 10 eggs a day. The thing is that the yolk actually carries all that micronutrients that you need. Fuck really of all the people that say they only eat egg whites because they're still in that belief where calories still exist in this world. Understand that you are not controlled by calories. You are controlled by your hormones. And the only reason why you're literally overweight is due to because your insulin is really high. You can lose weight being in a calorie deficit. But ultimately, once you go reach that goal, you're going to gain all that weight. I've experienced it, and many other people in my gym culture, friends, have experienced it as well. So why I tell you eat eggs is because they're relatively cheap to this day. They're one of the most high potent protein nutrient foods out there in the world. It's considered a superfood. So why are you not going to be able to pay $3 to buy some foods that are actually going to be beneficial for your life? Beneficial for your whole life as we speak today, because this is a food that will literally increase energy level, increase testosterone, increase muscle mass, and increase satiety. You're living those choices of when you're eating those candy bars or literally eating out every single day. Understanding that you don't even know what you're putting your body in. You feel a sense of bloatness and yet you tell yourself a lie that you're full, but you continue to eat more. So ultimately, start eating more eggs. Next is going to be spinach. Spinach is one of the best things to have because one crucial thing is that they have a lot of magnesium. Magnesium is really good for bone and muscle health. And if you incorporate that with bodybuilding, you are solely going to be building a lot more muscle and feel a lot more healthier and also increase your energy levels. The crazy thing is that you can eat a huge amount of this food because it's a really good, high potent, high volume food. That being said, you can eat the whole bag and it's less than 200 calories. It's probably even less than 100 calories in my opinion. And it packs in with high amounts of fiber. You've always been hearing the thing about fiber, how you need to keep your fiber high. Fiber needs to be a good thing that you need to incorporate, but you never really know what it actually meant. There are two things that you have in your stomach. You have bad bacteria and good bacteria. That being said, fiber is the building block to grow your good microbiome. Every other food that doesn't contain high amounts of fiber won't really help increase that good microbiome. You will actually start craving more healthier options than when you're eating foods like Rice Krispie treats, donuts, cookies, because those have zero nutrient value for your body to continue. Those are going to help promote bad microbiome. You right now possibly still have bad microbiome with the fat. So if you start incorporating more spinach in your diet, you're going to be feeding the good microbiome, which will start overcoming the bad microbiome. Fiber will help you with so much stuff by keeping you full, keeping you healthy, and keeping you lose a good amount of weight due to using a lot of bathroom. Because normally whenever I eat a lot of fiber, I tend to use the bathroom a lot. But that's good because technically you're losing a lot of waste that you don't need to be carrying in your body. Next is going to be nuts. Now, you might be thinking, oh, nuts are high in calories. A handful's like 300 calories. Oh, I can't eat that. That's really, really, really high calorie dense. You still have the same belief that you think that calories are a bad thing. You think eating a 500 calorie protein bar is going to make you fat when it's literally this small. Understanding that you are not controlled by calories. Get that fucking belief out of your head where you think that calories are everything. You start to develop an eating disorder which you don't like to have. You start viewing food as numbers and rather than nutrients. You start viewing food as, oh, bad or good. To be real with you, the food out there in the world, there's no such thing as bad and good food. There's literally none. It just depends on how they make it. It's valued on a nutritional base. Let's say if you eat a calorie from an avocado isn't the same as the calorie you eat from a Snickers bar. Both of them have two different nutrient values that will help your body function properly or not work properly. So why I emphasize eating a lot of nuts is because this has a lot of fat in it. This also will help you trigger leptin, which would make you not feel hungry. Same thing with spinach. You still will have a lot of fiber in them, which will still make you feel fuller, promote good gut microbiome. And the crazy thing too, it also increases testosterone. Why would you not want to eat these types of foods that will literally help you completely live the life that you want to have and stop being overweight because you've been psyoped by the American food where it's been telling you that this is fat-free, this is low-fat, less than 100 calories. Who gives a shit if it's less than 100 calories? A calorie that you see on a nutritional bar is just how much calories it takes to digest that food. That's all it is. You think that your daily budget's 2,000 calories? I've experienced the moments where I ate 1,500 calories a day for 6 months, and my hormones were shot. I lived my life on survival mode, not properly wondering, oh, that's bad, I don't need to eat that. Yeah, I relatively lost a lot of weight, but when I needed to go back to a healthier weight, I got fat. This is going to be able to trigger leptin, which makes you feel fuller, as well as it has fibers, which will help promote good, healthy gut microbiomes. Okay, the other thing is going to be avocado. Why I suggest avocado is because, again, this is a really high-fat fruit. Yes, it is a fruit. So that being said, this will be able to keep you fuller longer, which makes you not want to be able to binge eat. If you ever struggle with binge eating by eating more snacks, eating more this and that, this and this and this and that, avocado will eliminate that. because it has so much high fat and you are going to feel fuller longer. Therefore, it won't let you binge eat. Those sensations of when you feel hungry, that you need to eat more, that you need to crave those certain foods. They're loaded with sugar, which is a drug that makes you hooked them even more. You eat that cookie, and yet you get a sensation like a pull of wanting more. That's because the bullshit fucking company has added sugar for you to manipulate your taste buds, for you to continue to still eat that food. Or the food that I'm telling you to eat right now actually will help you beneficial for your life. And understand that you are not going to be psyoped by the American diet that's out there in the world that's been falsely been accused, that's been shoved down your throat for the many years of you growing up, telling you that this is the healthy way. You should have been growing up with some fucking lie out there in the world, not knowing anything about nutrition, that you have to keep your carbs relatively high. Have 3 to 4 servings of it. Have only like 1/4 of a protein. Whenever that food pyramid was available, obesity has risen. And I'm tired of seeing an average Hispanic out there in the world on the treadmill every time I walk because they're overweight. Because they've been psyoped throughout the whole world telling them that they can eat this and that. I've been forced to be eating fucking beans and tortillas every fucking day. And they get tired of eating that type of food where all they see is fucking American food out there in the world with the red fucking arrow. It's $5 for a burger. I'm really sorry for this rant, but it's ultimately, I don't want you to experience being overweight for the rest of your life. It comes with so many unhealthy problems in your life, and it just doesn't make life fun. You start developing bad mental health, low self-esteem. You don't live the life that you want to live. You don't feel comfortable in your own skin. Our bodies is supposed to be something that we cherish, but yet we get psyoped by the American food where they tell you to eat this type of bullshit. So emphasizing eating a lot of avocado. Who gives a fuck if it has a lot of calories? The calories is just a fucking scheme. Lastly, it's going to be berries. Why I tell you about berries is because they have fiber in them as well. Don't really go suggesting on the other fruits where it's like, watermelon, mango, apples, oranges. Those are relatively healthy, but they still contain a lot amount of sugar. Your body doesn't really know the difference between natural and processed sugar, so it ultimately will just turn into fat. But why I tell you to eat berries is because this is a very high volume food. You're able to eat this food relatively high amounts and still not gain weight from it. It has a lot of amount of fiber. That amount of fiber will help your gut microbiome promote good healthy microbiome and make you want to eat more healthier food than struggling to eat those processed foods. And it's like a sweet treat. Being controlled by sugar isn't something that you shouldn't be collapsed to. A natural sugar that the world has already given you is something that you already have. There's no need to create the next Rice Krispie treat that's filled with a bunch of weird chemicals. When you get that sensation of bloatness, you think you're getting full, but it's ultimately just an allergic reaction. So if you start incorporating these types of foods in your diet, I guarantee you'll start losing weight. And on a quick note though, if you want to lose weight effectively, I've actually made a course down below where you're able to streamline how to actually lose weight. So you don't have to go through the bullshit process of going through knowing what's good and what's bad, what's telling you this and that. No pressure though. Until you trust me, you could always just look down on that course and see all the details down below. Click in this video right here if you want to continue learning more. Put down that fork and go lift some weights, brother. And I'll see you soon.